All right, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Miami Dolphins and the New England Patriots. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Darius Geis, his first carry of the game. And this first play will get him back to the 25, but that's going to be it. There with the tackle, MnBtruax Jr. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Geis with a carry on 2nd down. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
3rd play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Carr. Goes underneath here to White. Nice move at the 40. They can't tackle him. 14 yards is the pickup there, and a New England first down. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a long night.
Carr now on first down. He's going to float this one deep right side. It's caught inside the 25. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That one goes for 36 yards. A lot of attention paid this week in practice to red zone offense. The coach was optimistic about how it went. We'll see. Into the red zone. It's Carr. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Von Miller in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Down, 280. 637.
Shotgun now for Carr. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Third down, here's Geis. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy is disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game...
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. He's got daylight. The 40. He's at the 30. 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Miami. In for the score. And the Dolphins are going to take a first-quarter lead. Now the extra point. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Patriots offense now. They work their way back onto the field. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. And a dump off to White. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It's a gain of 7, and that'll make it a second down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game.
And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. Von Miller in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
We're good.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down, eluding the pressure right. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now Ballage. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Gone!
Back to throw. Rose. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Patriots take over. Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And the drive begins with a run by Geis. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Down. 280. 734.
Carr to throw on second down. Throwing for his line back, and he's got it complete. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It's a gain of 5, and that'll make it third down.
Monday down. Low, low, low. Down. 180. Go Chief. That's it.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. And he's got Snead. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down.
Hey, we're due. Hurry, get set, fellas.
They'll run it here. This is James White. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. That'll be a New England first down, a gain of 12.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
Get down, get down. 280.
Geis receives the pitch. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. That good for 19 and a first down.
That's a football play right there. That takes me back a little bit. Toss sweep to the right, get it to your back, get a lot of people out in front, control the line of scrimmage, wide receivers blocking downfield. It almost feels like half the crowd is in front of him, getting it down to the secondary. They have a tough time getting him down.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
Back to the air on second down. It's Carr. Oh, it was hit at the line of scrimmage and intercepted. Derwin James with a pick.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll start on the ground with Balaj. Skirts by him at the 35. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Looking to throw. Rose. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Rose. It's caught over the middle. Hooper. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of the quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Rose. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. And his kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
This is taken at the 3. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And now out come the Patriots. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. Throwing on 1st down is Carr. Flushed out right. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
On the handoff, it's Geis. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Foxborough after this. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to the ground on 1st. It's Geis. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. The corner, Stephon Gilmore on the stop.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
808, 734.
Now Carr throwing on second down. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out, and he is going to need to bomb this one. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. They run it with Balaj. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Detroit! Detroit!
To throw on second down, Rose. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. Now whistles blow, and the Patriots are going to take another timeout, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long.
Gone! 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 All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the gun, Rose. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you've got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. He'll get it to the 40. Broke a tackle there to get some extra yardage. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Carr. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, there in coverage. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. So they're still down, but they are able to salvage 3 here heading into the lockers.
This is what you work on from the beginning of training camp. Heading into the half, put some points on the board. No matter what the score says at that point, you've accomplished what you set out to do.
And the Dolphins getting set to go here. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10.
Lucky 56.
A final shot before break. Rose. He's going to go for a big play. And got his man complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Again, it's Balaj, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. The Dolphins on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 9.
All right, now, look at 56.
Operating from the gun. Rose. Throw left side complete. That's Lions. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And they'll get to this and touch it. Looks like, yeah, right at the 15-yard line here. So here are the Patriots now. They get ready for their first possession of half number 2. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
Low.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Carr. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And down he'll go at the 25. First target, first catch at a 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Carr now on 1st down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards there for the Patriots as they've got themselves a 1st down. Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. From the gun, Carr. Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
They'll hand it down to Geis, and he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
Down. You wide, 808. 637.
On first down, Carr. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
618. Express.
Operating from the gun, Carr. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. The Patriot passing game is rolling. They've got another first down. Carr will come up here with a 1st and 10, and he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far.
808. Down. 180. Yo, Chief.
From the gun, Carr. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Operating from the gun, Carr.
And Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And 3rd quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
Green, 39.
They'll stay on the ground. Barrage again. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The Dolphins on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Back now in Foxborough. It's Dolphin football. It's also Dolphin lead to begin quarter number 4. The Dolphins on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit! 56 right there. Gone!
Back to throw. Rose finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. On the toss, here's Balaj. And he'll take it across the 50 and into New England territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. They'll run here with Balaj. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Set! B-19! B-19!
Balaj. Unable to corral him. He fights through. 20! And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll take this one down near the 15. To throw on second down. Rose. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it, and that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Low.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And able to get a little more breathing room out to the 5-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter, maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. A big play there on third down for the Pats. And even 40 yards. On 1st and 10, Carr. Escaping the pressure right. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused.
Must have.
It had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. From the gun, Carr. He'll buy some time right. That's going to be caught by Kurt. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there at 22. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. Operating from the gun. Carr throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now a toss. This is Geis, and he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. And he is in. Touchdown, New England. Darius Geis, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Patriots are within an extra point of tying this one up. Well, the hard part's done. Now they just need to split the post, tie it up, but then their defense is going to have to hold up to send it to overtime.
Yeah, no matter what. I know there's an inclination in it when you have momentum to go for 2 here, but if you miss it, you don't give your defense a chance at all.
Plus, it's been a good game. I want to see overtime. I'm selfish.
You obviously don't have a flight to catch.
Tomorrow. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. They'll start with a give here to Balaj. finds an opening past the 40. And finally down at the 41-yard line. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. First down now, but that clock rolling. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
Gone! 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 Detroit! Detroit! Gone! 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 Gone!
Looking to throw on second down. Rose. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this two-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. Right back to him on first down. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game.
6:18. 4 down.
Now Carr. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. 14 yards is the pickup there on a New England first down. He's having a big game through the air, and sometimes those smart decisions just dump it off. That's how you continue to have big games through the air.
I agree totally. That's a great analogy, great way to put it, because he doesn't get too greedy where everything has to be pushed downfield, trying to create big plays that aren't there. You dump it off and take that nice gain, and things add up, and now you have the kind of game he's having.
And you know, in an era of cost-cutting and maximizing your roster, this is a club that does not skimp on special teams, and in these situations, it pays dividends.
And that's great vision by the organization. When the difference between winning or losing depends on who you have kicking the ball, would you rather have a street free agent out there or a solid pro like this? Answer's pretty evident to me.
Lucky 56. Detroit! 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 Detroit!
He's back to throw. Space to maneuver at the 40. Going to throw right side here. Complete. And now nothing but green ahead of him. And he's across for the touchdown, and it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages.
I think it'd be real easy here to focus on maybe a defensive breakdown with that type of a play in this situation. But let's give a little bit of credit here. That type of play is clutch.
Boy, it was clutch, but to turn it back to the defense, how crushing is that? You think you've got this thing won, and in the last moments, almost literally, you lose it.
Snatching defeat from the jaws of victory.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field. They have time here, partner, for just one final heave.
And I have to look at it from the defense's perspective here. We know what they're going to do on offense. The Hail Mary, try and get guys down there and throw it in the end zone, tip it around and catch it. You've got to have guys back there to defend that, but also you can't allow the quarterback as much time as he wants to set up and throw it. Maybe you bring a little extra pressure to make sure he gets rid of it quicker.
A little bit of a cat and mouse game. We'll see if they bring that pressure. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Miami, they're into the win column now as they move to 1-2 on the young season. And they'll return home next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for the Patriots, they suffered defeat for the first time as they dropped to 2-1. And they'll get the extra week to think about this one as they return to action in 2 weeks' time. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.